exactly 1 month ago, I finally hit that 70 kgs bench PR I was aiming for so long. You guys clap for me, thank you. Yeah, thank you. To someone who's trying to get up 40 kgs almost a year and a half ago, I can say I feel absolutely amazing about myself. My friends were around me at that time, and everything went so well. Like, you just had that extra added motivation when you know someone is looking at you. So obviously, I had to push that weight right off my chest. The thing was, I was not always like this. I feel like my motivation to start my own fitness journey stemmed from my brother, some of my closest friends, and even images of celebrities on the internet. I love to see these kind of images on the internet, but it did not mean I was immediately going to get up and transform into the Hulk or something, for example. As a teenager, I've always wanted to change the way I look like. I'm speaking on behalf of many young men. We've always dreamed to look like one man. My idol, the bodybuilder, Arnold Schwarzenegger. He acted in so many movies, and when you saw him like in The Terminator or The Predator, he was huge, and you would not expect anything less out of a man like this. But watching his motivational videos on YouTube and stuff, I knew immediately that this was the man I wanted to be. Even though I admired him, it did not mean I was immediately going to roll off my bed and start doing 100 push-ups. It just did not work like that. Instead, the fact that I used to get made fun of my appearance about 2 to 3 years ago, but how skinny I looked, was a real motivation for me. Whether I lost an arm wrestling match between my friends or a football match, it would just make me feel extremely bad about myself because I always thought so negatively. How's it going to have any motivation if I did not even feel good about myself in the first place? Without a doubt, I knew that these were the signs of having a low self-esteem. Let me introduce you to my newest friend, Tim. So Tim over here, he's a 12-year-old boy, but unfortunately one day, he fell down a staircase and broke his nose. Upon recovering, his nose cartilage grew back, but this time a bit crooked. When he went to school, the first thing all his friends noticed was how crooked his nose was. I wish my nose was as straight as his. I wish my nose was not so crooked. Imagine a young 12-year-old boy being more conscious about how he looks like compared to when he could be carefree and enjoy doing his hobbies. It's not nice if you're Tim, and I'm pretty sure many of us can relate to him at some point in our lives. Can you even imagine looking at the mirror for hours, staring at yourself when nobody's looking? Imagine noticing every minor imperfection in your face or your body, and you feel so bad about yourself that you can't even talk to people. Can you even imagine finding it so difficult to have normal conversations with your friends or family because you're ashamed that people have to look at you? Unfortunately, these are the signs of having a low self-esteem. Sometimes it can become so overwhelming for people that they can take their own lives because they do not like the way they look. In a recent study done, about 1 in 50 people you walk past every day, be it to the metro or coming back from work, they can suffer from PDD. When you feel bad about yourself, it's not just you that gets affected. Other people that look at you also will notice that you're not the only one suffering. Future generations, and especially young teenagers, are more prone than ever to facing PDD or body dysmorphia with the rise and advent of social media platforms. How many of us in the crowd compare ourselves to people that look around our age on social media? I'm pretty sure many of us could, because that's what we see on our Instagram Reels or on our TikTok FYP. Today's society is so toxic because so many social media vloggers and content creators open up the topic about unrealistic body and beauty expectations. If a guy, for example, is not 6 feet tall, is not perfectly lean, does not have perfect hair, he is deemed to be imperfect according to today's beauty standards. Even bullying and disparaging comments made upon one's physical appearance can completely alter how a person thinks about herself and himself. Now, behind me, is a video of a famous TikTok influencer, Lauren Gray, and her experience with experiencing negative body image and body dysmorphia.
When I was 14, I was live broadcasting and someone commented that I was fat. And I was like, oh my god, I'm fat. I have to do something about this. And then it was 4 years of restrictive eating. My entire day was just workouts. To me, looking back and seeing the state that I was in, I was so insecure. Never good enough. I wish I could have been more vocal during that time about how I was feeling and how I was really doing. Most girls that I encounter experiencing the same thing. It's so unachievable and so unimportant, especially when you're sacrificing your health. My hair was falling out. I couldn't stay awake. I had no energy. I was 16 years old.
So look at this. Imagine such a young teenager like this. Her entire life can change because of someone's comments. Even if you think they can somehow be insignificant or doesn't matter to someone else, you wouldn't know what a person is going through unless you really talk to them. I understand that in these days, there are some influencers that are encouraging body positivity by telling their followers that no matter what people think, you have to do what is best for yourself. However, when this is true, this body positivity movement still needs to be popularized. Especially in the gym community of social media, some influencers can reopen the topic of body negativity and reinstate it all over again. Now, behind me are pictures of a very famous YouTuber and bodybuilder known as Tristan Lee. Believe it or not, he's only 20 years old and had a 5'3", but maintains a superhuman body fat percentage of 5% year-round. It is an insane number to achieve. But people who are around Tristan's age compare themselves to these unrealistic body expectations that they see on Instagram or on TikTok. When we compare ourselves, we not only think negatively about ourselves, we also feel that we will never reach our goals. If, for example, I do not look exactly like how Tristan looks, I'm considered skinny and not muscular. And I'm pretty sure many people think that. However, we are unaware of the fact that influencers such as Tristan might have taken enhancement pills, done food editing, or even taken supplements to look the best they can for social media. Do we as an audience really think these kind of people look like this on a daily basis? Absolutely not. Recent studies have shown that there's a direct link between social comparison and a negative perception about oneself. In a term known as selective abstraction, people only tend to focus on the negative aspects about themselves and filter out any positivity. It creates a vicious cycle of self-negative evaluation and self-depreciating thoughts. Our own family members, your own siblings, everyone is so prone to facing BDD or body dysmorphia. When I was young, I too suffered from a low self-esteem because I did not even think good about myself. About 2 years ago, I couldn't even look at the mirror because I was so ashamed to think that, was this how I looked like? Why did anyone even want to talk to me? Why can't I change myself? I really wanted to be better, but I just did not find that motivation to do so. However, things are changing around the world. BDD is more treatable than ever thanks to a new therapy format known as CBT or cognitive behavioral therapy. With the rise of internet and its accessibility everywhere, so many people are getting help and are treating their BDD with this new form of therapy. This type of therapy preaches that people should think greater about themselves. If they only focus on the negative aspects about what they are, they will only see black and white. There will be nothing good if they only see negative about themselves. The one thing that needs to be changed in these individuals is perception, and the one thing that needs to be added is a positive and healthy mindset. The people you talk with, the people you hang out with, everything influences the way you perceive yourself. For example, if you do not have a supportive group of friends who are around you, you too would be unsupportive of yourself during times of need. Even though I did not need therapy, I had such supportive friends and family around me. I had my family around me, and and I had supportive friends who were there for me throughout, and I started my own fitness journey. In December 2021, I still remember my first day in the gym. I felt so happy because I was finally doing something for myself, and I wanted to improve myself. I thought to myself, if I do this for 2 years, how much better can I get from what I already am? Now, the friends who used to call me skinny when I was younger now look for me for my advice on reaching their fitness goals. You know you're doing a good job at that time because not only are you improving yourself, you're also encouraging and motivating your friends to pursue the same goals. I encourage everyone that body positivity is indeed a topic that needs to be discussed more. People need to find things that make them happy, whether it's culinary, art, or even listening to music. If you focus on the better things in life, you would automatically see a difference and improvement in yourself. I urge everyone here that if you're suffering from BDD or you know someone who is, please be reminded that things will get better and things will change, only if you take action from now. Do remember one thing. The only person you should compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday. Thank you for listening.